serve as the blank for the back of the quarter here. So essentially a smaller version of the front of it, I guess. Basically the same idea. This is inside. Just gonna really gotta stretch it out through here, because that's the flare starts right as the body rolls up. This is underneath the car. This is where the body starts to roll up. We really want to stretch it in here. Then a little less and a little less as we go there. Not gonna worry about this. Just really want to beat this whole area out. And then we're going to pick the radius that we want, and we're going to kind of start building the flare. And then we'll roll the panel along here, and the last thing we'll do is see how much of the back end of it we want to use. Just kind of give myself enough there. I will probably build this little corner right there as a separate piece rather than trying to make that out of this. It's not really a significant change. So that's there's the line there. So that's us right there. So I'm going to get started on that. A lot easier than this guy, and I'm happy with that. This week, but in the next week or two. Well, I think that's got to come a little more, eh? We should put it on the English wheel and run the radius in it a bit, because that would be easier. And then we got to figure out why it curves that way. And I think, what did we do last time? I do not remember. I think that we should wheel it up, because that's not right. I mean, this might be actually pretty close if we stretch that up, since we have it sitting there right next door. How much do we really need to? At least it would take the stress out of it, because I think that our flare is reasonable. If we look at that with nothing else, just looking at the flare.
Oh yeah, here.
Right there, and right, and we're rolling under most of the way already. And we just have to, because this is just like, whoop.
Oh yeah, there's so much stress in there right now.
Let's wheel it up. I think everything's just sitting there. What's that? Whoop, crash. Just trying to give it a little bit of strength, so that there's a little more metal in the middle, so the whole thing has a nice certain amount of stability. And now you tighten this up and you use it to press that radius into the panel without stretching it anymore. It'll just
it gives you the shape. Now you can,
right,
it's got some place to
but it
go.
doesn't stretch the panel, right?
Yeah.
Because at a certain point you'll make a fucking, you know,
You'll end up like
you'll end
thinning
up
it
with
out
a
too
balloon,
much.
right?
Yeah.
You don't want a balloon, but you want a little more shape to her, especially near the bottom. So you just put this through there. And you can see.
Oh yeah, it really puts the curve to it.
Right, and at this end I can do a little more because this end has the wheel arch in it helping me. But we don't want to get too crazy. So I think we'll, but that is a lot closer to what the side of the car looks like. What would you say? Let's see. Right? It's got a little bit of of the right shape, maybe. Maybe it needs a little more here. Playing around. Let's go throw it at the car. It's got to be closer. Now we still have the problem of it totally turning, right? So, how did we solve that? House to drop the Cougar off, so that's very exciting. It's been, well, I think I've had it in my shop for 2 years, so I'll be very happy to deliver it, get some shop space back. There's so much to do. Thought might be worth a quick look at the car once we get there. Still have to do the wheels and the hubcaps, but we're getting very close. So Mark has a number of other cars that are kind of fun, so maybe we'll have a look at those if his garage is open when we get there. Known Mark for probably a dozen years. Fixed up a Torino for him many years ago, and just kind of always stayed friends. We'll see what else is going on at Mark's house. That should be, I hope we get a chance to look at some of his other cars. He's got some pretty fun stuff. Fraser behaving itself. Can't bring Frankers today just because so much to do, so. Not a bad day for it. Just kind of not bad, you know? Not too cold. Kind of nice spring-ish day. Alright, we're at Mark's garage to drop off the Cougar, and we have to move this lovely Mark, what is it, 1987, right? Porsche 930 Turbo. Lovely low mileage original example, and we thought it was fun that we would have, well, this one is what, 32 years old? Yeah. And then we've got a slightly more modern type of car here. This is Mark's NSX. It's the old Honda. Yeah, so speaking of cars that are a little outside of what I normally would be driving, hey, I got to drive it once. I was just terrified the whole time that I was going to scratch it, so it mostly sits here and looks good. Yeah. So the Porsche doesn't get fired very often, so I'm going to just try and start it up here, and we have to make room for the Cougar, so we're going to put this up in the garage. Let's see if she'll go. But you know, they are roomy inside. Once you're in it, it's great. Look at that, eh? Blaupunkt, of course. Where's the key go? Alright, let's fire this baby up. There's no magic to this, right? No choke. This is, right? Everything seems good. Here we go. Well, not bad. Being started twice in the last 10 years. That was awesome. Let's let her warm up for a second and open the door. Interestingly, it's a 4-speed box in these. I think I remember reading that the 5 speeds would just not, they would not handle the power. A little different from the Fraser. And I don't just mean because it has oil pressure. It's mostly just because I'm getting nervous driving nice cars, I guess. What a beast, hey? This was, I believe, the fastest accelerating car you could buy in 1987. I have pushed on the gas in this car one time, and it's really fun. It's like there's a rocket strapped to a Volkswagen Beetle. Just happy that it's running well for a car that doesn't get driven very often. Probably not often enough, which maybe we'll have to take this out for a rip and do a little video. Pretty fun little car, I tell you. I don't know how to get out of it though. Where's the handle? Is that it? Good. Pretty fun, buddy. Maybe we'll have a look at some of Mark's other cars. Okay, let's put the Cougar in, and then we can put the wheels on it as soon as I'm finished painting them. Pretty cammy. Definitely a more American car, eh? Alright, let's just wheel her in there. Good enough, are we in? All right. So this is a better one, yeah, better quality. That was nerve-wracking. Yeah. Tom and Gary both sitting there busting my balls the whole time. Ah, you're gonna fuck it up. Fuckers. Yeah. All right, that's all back together, and well, really nice to see it back at home. And we managed to get it in. Hey, took long enough, eh? Guy takes forever to finish painting your car.
Oh well. We didn't have any room for it.
Yeah, I kind of looked upon it as, well, at least he's getting it stored for free.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at what else is in the toy box here. Have a looky. Is the light here, Mark? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, right on. This is a treat. This is a 1933 Pontiac. Don't know the exact name of the model, but it's an 8-cylinder inline car. a lovely older restoration done from a very, very nice original car. There's hardly any work been done on this car other than paint and upholstery. Just a beautiful, beautiful car that I would love to do a little test drive video of. So looks like the battery tender is in there, so she'll be ready to drive. I have driven this car and I just love it. I put, we'll do a close-up, but would not run properly when he got it, so I actually modified the car very slightly with one of the carburetors from one of my Fraser parts cars, which uses the last iteration of the carburetor that was originally fitted to this car that was not very good. So we put the original in a box and put the Fraser carb on it, and it just runs like a charm. Really cool, really a really special car. Very tall car, very fun to drive. Another Porsche here. This is a mid-70s. We did a bunch of work on this, just mechanical, heat exchangers, and some touch-ups, and this car is ready to go. Maybe we'll take it for a drive sometime. Really a lot of fun. This is Mark's sister car to the Cougar, and this is a Ford Torino. Don't know if we'll be able to really have a very good look at it. Let's have a looky here. Another car that doesn't get enough exercise, but a very interesting and fun car. It's a Torino Cobra. There we go. 1970 model. This was Mark's kind of always wanted one car, so we found this one on eBay about 12 years ago and rebuilt it from a pretty badly ruined car. So a ton of work in this car, but really probably the best spec you could have. 429 SCJ, 4-speed, bench seat, no options at all, just a full-on hooligan car just for burning tires. And what great tires to burn. Firestone wide ovals. So we're putting a similar set of wheels and tires together for the Cougar, and those two buddies will just sit here and that'll be awesome. It's got all the go fasty stuff, but it's not a GT, so it doesn't have hidden headlights. It's a base model Fairlane with the biggest engine you could get, so a pretty fun car. Came out of the States and needed a very extensive rebuilding. Don't know if we can see underneath there. Love this stuff, eh? A lot of fun. So, yeah, special old girl. It was very kind of Mark to let us have a look at some of these. Let's put the cover back on her here. Here's another personal favorite of mine. It's 1979 308 GT Berlinetta. So the closed car, not the open car. GTS was the Spider, which was more famous as the Magnum PI model. But the Berlinetta is a closed car. Very, very cool to see, and very typically stylish Italian interior. Really, really fun. I only drove this car one time, but I could be talked into it again for sure. It looks like there's a fuse panel off there that we'll have to check out. And yeah, really exceptional car. Love the gated shifter. Love all of the very low volume production feel to all of these Ferraris in this era. Even though by Ferrari standards this was a mass-produced car, it still has a very handmade vibe to it. So, really, the seats are excellent, and let's see, there we go, April 1979. Pininfarina, of course. One of their nicer cars, I think. Yeah, so a really fun piece. We'll have to do a cold start on this baby, but it might involve changing the cam belts first. We'll have to see. It does have the correct Michelin tires, and a pretty fun little car. One of the last of the carbureted models. So this nice Weber sounds come from it. There we go. Some of Mark's motorcycles are also a real treat here. I think we have to pull the cover, actually. Don't really want to, but I really want to show you guys this bike. Believe, I'll ask Mark, but I think it's an 81. BMW R100. Not entirely sure, but I thought they were named for 100 horsepower. Very, very nice. Very nice example, and this is a one owner. Mark bought this new. And he said he bought a Chevy half-ton at the same time, and this cost more. So that, in 1981, was about as good as a touring bike could be put together. That's really a nice machine. And some 30-some years later, they did a kind of a commemorative edition of this. This is, I don't even know. I'll ask Mark and let you guys know. My brother actually rode this home from the dealer, and that's where it sits. It's basically brand new. We'll have to take it out for a chew this summer. It's a pretty amazing machine. And not a lot of these were brought to Canada, so pretty fun to have it. Here is, just for laughs, a friend for the white machine. Hang on. This is the sister bike to the other one, same year, make, model, in the other paint scheme that was offered. So pretty fun to have the two schemes that were available. It's a very nice original bike, original stripes, original paint. Very few miles, I believe. It's like 10,000 miles. Very nice. And something else I think that we should probably take for a quick ride here if we get a chance. Oh, look at this. What? Where did you get this? Whoa, that is so cool. Wow, I never thought that we would see one of these. That is terrific. I didn't even know Mark had this. What a fantastic bike. My brother just restored the street bike version of this. Well, we'll have to get the two of them together. That is amazing. I love it. It's probably 1968. I'll have to clarify with Mark what it is exactly. But that's cool. It's got the little teeny fender on it. What a great machine. Can't wait to hear that go. We'll have to fire some of these babies up. That's Marcus storing that for his friend. This is one of my favorites. It's a 400 Super Sport Honda 1975-67. It's another really nice low mileage original machine. We went through it a few years ago, got it all working, and another machine that could use a little more exercise. Was that 4,000 miles on it? Really, the 400 Super Sport, actually probably more popular in Europe than it was in North America. Most Americans bought the 750s, but the 400 is very well regarded as a sporting bike of the 70s. So really cool. Maybe another thing that we'll need to fire up. So anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to show you guys some of Mark's cars, because it would be fun to drive some of these around and experience them. Certainly, it's easy and fun to drive this stuff out here in the country. You're not really in anybody's way. And an eclectic group. That's what I like about it. He just buys what he likes. There's no agenda. Just buy the cars you like. And the bikes. I better put some covers back on here. Hey Frank Franks, what's up, buddy? What have you got in your hair there? Come, what's this? What have you got here? Where have you been? So, what should we do today? Look, they can't all be about like going fast and stuff, fraggers. Okay, well, got that one sketched in again. Same as before, I'm going to leave the final fold and welding till everything else is done. So that means that I'm free to finish sketching this guy in, which will be the top of the wheel arch. Not the hardest part, but actually a bit of a challenge, because that distance there is more than it is here, so the flare is fading away as you go towards the back of the car, and by the time it gets here it's almost gone. So it goes from whatever that is, 1.25 inches. By the time we get here it's maybe 7/8. So that's something I'm going to kind of have to keep in mind, and I'll probably draw the center line of the flare on here. Okay, So after that, it's I'm going to rough the shape into it a bit, and then we'll stretch it until it sits nicely against the car. Basically, I'm going to lay the center line of the pipe just inside. This represents the extent of the flare, and this is that. So all the curling has to happen in here. So I'm laying the pipe, and I'm going to just kind of roll this way as I go. Not very much science here. It's kind of just beat on it. Okay, that has given us some shape that way, and now we can see that it curves quite a bit in the wrong direction. So that means we have to stretch this a bit and make this longer than that. Okay, now I don't know if we can see there. So there's the basic shape of the wheel arch. A few little spots here sorted out, I can see. Let's do that. Okay, so that's a little head start on that. Now the next part of the job is to find that line there and fold it down. So now all this gets folded down, and that's going to mean that it needs to, it's going to mean that it needs to shrink along here. And then we'll fold the return for the welding. That is all going to have holes punched in it to weld to the wheel arch or to the wheelhouse. So as I fold that down, it's going to want to kick the edges up. So we'll have to be careful that we are shrinking it once we fold it down. But the basic shape of the wheel arch is there now. So I'm going to start by rudely folding that down, and then we'll start shrinking it till it fits the car. Okay, that's the first rough fold of the lip, and now we're going to see how it lays on the car. There's the rough first pass on the wheel arch. So all we've needed to do this is a pipe, some kind of a straight edge, doesn't matter. Got this big wooden mallet made out of a tree. Got an actual tree. I didn't even use very much tree this time. I got your basic whatever, and some kind of template. In this case, the original wheel arch molding. There. So actually fits very nicely. That looks as it should. Where does the thing go? Right there. And right to there. So, yeah. Alright. That's a fair amount of pounding, actually. But didn't take much longer than driving into the city to buy one, if you even could. So made this. So far, this whole car has been made out of about $100 worth of steel, so not too bad. See how this is actually shaped to come out past the flare and then tuck in there. So that's good to see that is going to look just fine. Strange though, deceptive, but in fact that molding rolls in quite a bit, right? Oh, this better all fit. Oh my god, this is hey, well, there's gonna be a lot of this car missing before we're finished here. I decided to go ahead and fold the final welding flange around on these guys, at least close, and then it's easy to fine tune it once it's on there, but it actually takes a fair amount of hammering to get it going, and I thought I would rather do that before I put it on. So that's the back one, of course. There's a look at the top of the wheel arch, and I decided to fold that guy around as well. At least a good percentage of the rough work is out of the way there. So the next step is to actually weld all this stuff together. So that guy will go there somewhere, and make it all fit on the car. Same here. It's going to go on next. So right on. Is a regular contributor.
Same old shit.